Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. We are so excited to introduce our series on men and mental health. Today, with me is Onyedikachi Ezeribe from Nigeria. Welcome, Kachi.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, member. It's nice to be here.
Yes, yes. So we can start by you telling us what you do about yourself and everything.
Okay, yeah, so my name is Onyedikachi Ezeribe. I am a Nigerian and I'm live here from Nigeria. And am the founder of SafeSpace.ng. So Safe Space is a social community, and we have three things that we have designed as our goals that we wish to achieve. So the first is self and personality development. I think that is self-explanatory. And the second is Teens Connect, meaning we try to connect to teenagers and young people so as to, kind of help them with, whatever they'll probably be going through and probably expose them to some of the things that we did not have the opportunity to be exposed to, in terms of education and other social knowledge out there. And the third one is the public outreach, where we go out to the public to reach out to people, create awareness, or do some you know, community service thing, anything. And if you go to our IG page, safespace.ng, you would see something which we have done like 2 days ago. So yeah, that's me.
Well, I see you have a lot of experience with young people. Coming to our discussion today about men and
Hmm.
what do you understand about mental health?
Yeah, I think mental health is something that a lot of people do not want to even talk about at all. But then I think it's something that is very important at the same time to talk about. So of course, mental health has to do with our mental state of mind, and a lot of times people hope to see the the result of this state of mind on the physical part. It does come, to us physically, but not all the time. Sometimes it's all in the head, and people just go through a lot of mental stress and pain without even having any physical, indications that they are going through such things. So mental health is very important. I think it's something which is necessary for us to talk about, and also make it very okay for people to talk about these things. So yeah, that's my.
And like you have stated, mental health, we're talking about the state of mind. So now when it comes to men, can you talk about the mental health myths or beliefs of men concerning mental health?
Yeah, I mean, like, uh, men and mental health have been something that has not been very talked about until recently. And the truth is, we men also have emotions. We also have, mental challenges. We have capacities where we cannot exceed, in terms of our mental strength. So a lot of the times, we also have, mental challenges and stress. But, the thing with the society where we found ourselves is, there's this thing of you are a man, whatever that means. You are a man, and for some reason, just because you are a man, you know you shouldn't act emotional, or you shouldn't be emotional, or you shouldn't act as though things get to you. But that is notwithstanding if they get to you, because a lot of times they do get to us, because just like the women, we have minds, we have senses, we have feelings as well. But I mean, I would say sadly, it has not been taken very seriously for the male gender, and it has been taking it has been taking a toll on a lot of men and a lot of boys, as the case may be. Yeah.
So we are saying men, we are supposed to be strong. That's what the society says. You're supposed to be strong by nature, and you're not supposed to go through all all these issues when we're talking about depression, anxiety, stress, it's not for men.
Yeah,
What are we saying?
yeah, that is the idea out there in the society, right? People assume that men won't have to go through, or don't have to go through these mental challenges and mental, difficulties. But the truth is, they do, and as a matter of fact, they probably, you know, go through these things, more than the female, more than the women. And the problem is nobody is talking about it. You don't even feel comfortable most times as a man, to talk about these things, or to, boldly say, hey, I'm going through this kind of thing. Most times you're laughed at, or people just, brush it away, don't take it seriously. So a lot of men would rather not even talk about it at all, you know but of course that is wrong. And we are human beings also. We have emotions and mental challenges, so we also need to talk about them, just like the women.
All right. So maybe you can share with us your experiences on mental health issues, if you have any.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone has mental health issues, or has had mental health issues at some point in their lives. And but I think for me, I would say most of the issues I've had, in regards to mental health, would be, as a result of, the constant pressure of being a man, and you have to live up to a certain standard. You have to have your shit together, you know, to a certain extent. As you grow, it's like, okay, now you're at this point in your life. What are you doing with your life? What have you achieved? And all of that. And that pressure may not necessarily be for the women or for the ladies who are in the same, in the same level with me. And this is not to say that they don't have their own challenges. They do have their own challenges. But what I'm saying is, when we have a lot of these challenges, or when I have a lot of these challenges, it's more like, okay, it's not because I am here, it's just because I'm a man, I have to be doing this. I have to have done this. I have to have achieved this kind of thing. And then, it becomes stressful. And of course, with academics as well, it's like, there are those times where you have to, stress a lot for, certain courses and certain papers, for your education. I mean, that is very natural. I mean, if you want to grow, and if yeah, but then the downside is we are not necessarily allowed to talk about them, to be vocal about these challenges, because it's assumed that you're a man. Why should you be complaining about such things? I mean, they are getting to me, so I think it's okay to talk about them. I think it's okay to voice out and be vulnerable about what I'm going through. And yeah, of course, relationships as well, family relationships, business relationships, romantic relationships. It's like, I've had, my own mental, drama with these relationships. And yeah, I think, on one side, it helps us understand who we are and what we want. And on the other side, it's really uh, painful and depressing if, especially, we are not exposed to people who can give help, or people who we can talk to, or people who we can share out these challenges with. So yeah, for me, challenges are everywhere, man. Like, mental challenges come from everywhere: family, academics, relationships. I mean, money. Hey, you're looking for money and you're stressing yourself, and you're trying to figure out how to break the next deal. So I think these things come to us generally as men.
So, from what you are saying, the pressure is coming from all angles. And
It comes from everywhere. It comes from everywhere.
yes, and as men, the society
Yeah,
is expecting you to do something to show that you are a man. So that
exactly,
really builds up pressure on you guys.
exactly. And it's like, uh, you are a man, and the society expects you to, be a man. notwithstanding if you have the resources, not caring about if you're in the right place, not caring about the challenges you have to go through. They just expect you to be a certain way at a certain point in in your life as a man, and that is quite challenging mentally. I mean, it's not physically painful. You probably don't feel any pain, but in your head you're going through a lot of stress, and a lot of people fall into depression due to if they can't live up to that standard, especially when you're not informed and you just have to live you know based on what people expect. I mean, that's where it gets dangerous. Yeah.
So earlier on, you were talking about safe space. So you're a person who deals with young people. I don't know, how is it in Nigeria when you look at young men, you have experience with young men, when it comes to mental health issues, how is it like?
Yeah, I think it's about the same thing with young people all over the world. But I think the challenge we have here in Africa or Nigeria is the issue of knowledge or uh, access to information, right? So a lot of people, a lot of these kids, a lot of young people do not have access to certain information that they need, to develop the mental capacity or the mental stability they need, to go through these pressures and these challenges. Uh, there are a lot of people worried about the most trivial of things. You see someone getting into depression at 17 because the opposite sex is breaking his or her heart. And then you're wondering, I mean, you have unbelievable amount of years to go. Like, you're probably not even going to remember that person in the next 5 years, and you're letting yourself get into depression. That is a concern, and there are a lot of people, a lot of people who are actually in this category. So information and understanding is a challenge here. And a lot of these young people need people to reach out to them, to hear what they're going through, and be open enough to say, okay, I relate, but this is the way. This is what you can do. This is what you shouldn't do. The need. How can you know if you don't, if nobody tells you, if nobody reaches out? So that is why safespace.ng, we decided that Teens Connect is something we are going to do. And once in a while, we go out to meet them, hear their story, tell them our own. And we are not necessarily offering the solution, but we're just lending listening ears, and giving a little help we can give, even if it means connecting them to someone who can really give the solution.
So, what can we do in our society or Africa as a whole? We are saying we need to bring awareness to the men concerning mental issues. They are real. So, what can we do?
I think number one thing is we need to consciously tell ourselves that we're going to bring up better kids and better children and better individuals in our society. These children have to be informed from the homes. All of us listen to what our parents say or what our guardians say or what our relatives say. So if I have a parent who is saying it's okay to air out what you feel like, it's okay to be vulnerable, it's okay to you know share whatever you're going through with someone, I think I'll grow up being someone who would share my struggles. But if I grew up from a family where you know I'm told things like, hey, you shouldn't cry, you're a man. I mean, I'll grow up bottling a lot of things inside me. And the truth is, we all have capacities, like I already mentioned. And at some point, it can explode. And I find myself getting into depression or, doing some dramatic things or maybe getting into addictions as well, which becomes really, really terrible. And, it becomes also health, dangerous health wise because your mind is not only affected in that case, you also have physical illness. And so the family, like I said, is one way. Uh, of course, having these kind of conversations uh, is something that we should do more often. Make it a theme, like make it normal to have these conversations, even among our circles, even among our communities, our small groups. Or let it be okay to talk about mental health, and let it be okay to share what you feel, to put your feelings and emotions out there. That way, a lot of people can ease off a lot of pain, and think we can grow from there.
I love what you said. Like it starts in the family, it starts in the
Yeah.
home. Yes, that's where we are all shaped, especially men. Like our society, we actually build up from the families. So it's actually very important to start from the home because that is where everything, like that is the beginning of everything. So I
Yeah.
don't know, maybe you can share a few words of encouragement to the young people in Africa as a whole concerning mental issues. Any one or two words that you can leave to the young people?
Okay. I think number one is mental health is a thing. Take it very, very seriously. I mean, a lot of people don't care about, what they get into their heads. I mean, it's not just who you relate to, it's who you relate with, it's what you read, it's what you watch, it's where you go, it's substances you take, what you eat. I mean, there's a lot of things that can affect our mental state and our mental conditions. So number one, take it very seriously. Number two, be open enough. It's not a sin, it's not a crime to say how you feel. It's not a crime to be vulnerable and, ease off some pain if you feel any. And number three, I think in your own circle, make it comfortable for others as well to share what they feel. Ask people, check upon your loved ones, check upon people, and be nice. I mean, a lot of people are going through a lot of things mentally, so let's just be nice. Let's check on people. Let's take it seriously. Let's visit the therapist. I mean, they are there for a reason, for God's sake. I think that's something that is really looked down on in this part of the world. And I think it's very okay to visit a therapist, talk to them. They are actually trained to help. So while we go to the doctors to take care of our physical body, we can actually go to the therapist to take care of our mental states. So I think it's okay to take these things into consideration and
Well,
move from there.
you actually brought out an interesting topic, therapist. But like you were saying, men, uh, with the way you were brought out, with the way
Yeah,
you brought up, yes, I think it's
yeah.
something that many people really need to be aware of because it's actually a challenge. It's difficult. I know that for most men, when it comes to, for example, when we're talking about grief, when someone dies in the family, you're expected not
Mm,
to cry. You're supposed to be
exactly.
yes. So
Exactly.
we
It's
are
like
talking about
when
you being vulnerable to someone. Uh, now
exactly,
that's something else.
exactly. It's like somebody is dead and the man has to, be all stable and emotionally stable, and the women, it's okay for the women to cry and all of that. But then the truth is, the man is probably even closer to that person than the woman was, before the person died. So he's definitely going to have a greater shock and pressure on him mentally. But then, I mean, like I said, it's the society we find ourselves, and gradually we just need to correct that mentality of men have to be strong. I mean, we need to make it okay for people to feel how they feel and say how they feel. And I mean, when it's shared, when they put it out there, then it's easier for them to get a lot of that out of their system. But when they bottle it in and then it becomes a problem, it becomes a problem.
Yeah, very true, very true. It was very insightful to actually hear from the perspective of men. It's usually us women, women, we are known for having these issues, depression, anxiety. It's more common in women and it's more visible in women. But when it comes to men, um we don't think you go through those things, or we think that you are strong, that you're exempted from suffering from depression or all these issues connected to mental health. So it's actually good to have such discussions and hearing from men your views, which are different from us women. And I would like to thank you for this moment that you had with us as we were discussing about these issues. It's good that we talk about them in our
Thank you very much.
Yes. So to all our viewers, we want to thank you.
Yeah, thank you
For
very
joining.
much. I'm also,
Yes, we want to thank you for joining us.
yeah, I'm very pleased to be a guest.
Yes, yes, yes. So we are hoping that you will be joining us more with more episodes that are coming. And with Kachi, I hope to be working with you. I know you're working with young people, and our organization currently, as we are running a campaign on mental health, we believe that we are all in Africa. And I know that one day there's a point where we'll be joining hands, working together to help our young people in Africa, which is something that is needed at this moment. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you, Kachi, for joining us. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. And have a good day. I really appreciate it. Thank you.